Welcome to the People's Economy Podcast, the only podcast where we keep it all the way real. Our mission is to educate you, empower you with some knowledge. We want you to prosper on your journey. So, being that it's like the end of November, moving into December, with 2021 coming up, you might need to, you see things are changing in the world and the economy. It's very important that we develop maybe some new skills going into the new year. What do you gentlemen think about developing some new skills? And is there any skills you guys are looking to develop in 2021 to
Mm,
move yourself forward?
mm.
Well, I guess it would depend on what companies you're looking to, put yourself in that you haven't done in the past. On what skills you should pick up on.
I agree.
I think as far as skills, you're definitely gonna have to pick up on. I think everybody has to be more tech savvy. That's one skill you
Yeah,
got to pick up on.
that's a
Even even
that's a biggie.
even if it's basic, know how to do a Zoom, know how to do things, because that's like a basic thing now. So know how to do things like that. As far as skills, you're looking to pick up, maybe like for some reason, I think photography. That would be if you get into something like that tech, tech and photos and stuff like that. Because maybe people might want to have pictures of old things or pictures of stuff going on. So that would be something I might look into if I have a little more time to develop another skill. But
Oh,
definitely technology.
that's interesting because that's like a skill slash hobby almost.
Right.
That
Exactly.
would be a real cool thing to pass time as have more time on your hands.
And possibly be lucrative, potentially.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
especially with the iPhone 12 coming. The iPhone 11 had the three cameras on it. I actually knew this young entrepreneur. He said one day he was at like a Dunkin' Donuts, got the iPhone 11. He took some pictures of some gentleman on like a motorcycle, and he charged him $10 a picture for 12 pictures. He made $120 within like 5 minutes just utilizing his iPhone 11 with the three cameras on it.
Mm, mm. Now I'm pretty sure that's what they made it for. For making somebody who's more a novice amateur make it look like they're taking high quality photos. And if you really like learn how to do it, you could really make some high quality product, and it shows. I think people could definitely get paid off their phone at this point, and Apple is pretty much capitalizing on that. Even with their updated version of like iMovie and things like that, you could do like a pretty big production on a phone or on a desktop that you couldn't do before.
You think the technology could globalize and change the way the business is being done, or like what
Mm,
skills is important to have to work for certain companies?
mm. Go ahead, Jerry. You could take that.
I mean, the technology is definitely gonna affect the skills that's requested in the future. I was actually watching, even if you I was watching like a stockbroker company. They're saying that they want a young kid that can at least code a little bit as well. That's one they look at to hire, even for a stock company. So you can kind of make like you can make little systems that actually there's certain platforms that allow you to make your own algorithms to do like stock scanners and things like that. So yeah, of course, technology is playing a big part on who gets the jobs in the future.
Yeah.
Especially with the pandemic going on right now, right?
Well, if you're talking about globalizing, I mean, we're just connected more because of technology, because of the internet, because of apps. You can get them anywhere. So you definitely have said that's definitely going to shape how the future is done. I think you think that things are definitely going to get more technology based. Look at like fast food. They're going to have to do updated things to make it probably even faster. Because that industry has done pretty well, depending on which company it was. But that industry has done well. So you're going to have to do more, definitely on a technology space, and that in turn will be global.
Yeah. So, what's more important right now? You would say your passive income job or your side hustle? Like, say you were making the most you can out of
Like
both.
both.
If you were making the most you can out of both of them, what would you say would be more important for you to, put more of your time in?
That's a good question.
I mean, if you have like maybe like a basic job, like maybe a union job, you'd have to figure out like your salary. Let's say you make 60,000 a year, and then you figure out how much they pay for you. Let's say you have a family of four, how much they paying to your medical and dental insurance.
Yeah.
15,000 up to 75,000. If you have a pension 401k, what are they putting in 1,000 a month? Another 12,000. So then you're up to 80, 90,000. So you got to look with a basic job. If you want to replace the job you're at now, your side hustle, you have to make 80, 90K just to maintain the lifestyle you have now. If you want to step off from your main job to your side hustle. So I mean, it takes a lot of work, but I think it could be done.
Yeah. But if you saying like at the same time you maximizing your income from your job and you getting the maximum from your side hustle, which is like the ideal kind of situation, right? And well, maybe not the ideal, but if you're starting out, that's kind of is the ideal situation. If you're getting both of those, then the side hustle is probably more important because that's the one that you're growing to make it almost equal with the whole corporation that you might have worked for. If you could make your side hustle that amount, I think you pretty much at a good level and you're ready to possibly just start investing more in the side hustle. But if you're gonna get both maybe as long as you can get two. If you're making both, if both are the same, but you
Well,
definitely need a
because
side. You definitely need a side hustle though.
the reason why I asked, because there's like a big booming gig economy that's growing as of lately. Like apps that are making people good money. We saw it happen with the Uber, but now it's really expanding to different types of businesses.
Well, maybe like more.
That could be like a good side hustle to be involved with.
I mean, yeah, for sure. You could definitely do. I mean, Uber is great. Although I think in certain restrictions with Uber might change it in the future. Certain restrictions on like how each state classifies the drivers, like whether you're an independent contractor or an employee. So that might affect it, but overall, it probably won't, and you'll always have things like that, like something like that as a good side hustle. There's nothing wrong with that.
Especially now that you might see that other companies that weren't using those type of applications, they might switch over, and you might have the upper hand because that you've been using it, on your side hustle time.
Well, it would be interesting to see if a company like Uber expanded in places where there wasn't a lot of Ubers before because of people people in those areas not used to the situations that are going on now, but they still need to get around, and there's not enough public transportation, or there's not enough transportation. I wonder if Uber has done well, or are people just maybe buying cars, buying automobiles? That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, they said like Uber started up like in 2008, right? And that was like during kind of the collapse in the economy when that whole thing happened back then. So who knows? There could be more tech uh, companies that are going to begin to be more popular in the near future. I would say.
Yeah, you probably want to maybe as a stock investor, you want to try to find some of those tech companies and put some of your money and own some shares in a piece of
Yeah, definitely.
companies. You might see a nice
You might see some
turnout.
mergers. Well,
Do you
not
do you
the
do you
big ones,
think do you
honestly.
think that do you think big companies will continue to split their dividends? Do you think that will continue? And the reason I ask that is because if you do have big companies that are consistent, which are the ones giving the dividends, do you think more companies would like to keep splitting their stock, or do you think that would do you think whoever has done it now that's it for a while?
I mean, the big companies that are still seeing profit, I think they're still going to continue to raise their dividend yields year over year, as long as they have the profit. You see, a company like Disney, what they did, they cut their dividend payout and took some of that profit and bought. Actually, they chose to purchase content for Disney Plus. With they cut the dividend, took money to make new content for Disney Plus to try to grow the actual stock in the actual company and the actual profit. And they reported this week they did decent. I mean, the stock moved up on the news, so I guess going forward, we'll see how these companies decide to raise their dividend or not.
Mm. Okay, so it's still undecided. It could still go either way, kind of. It could still go either way.
I guess the companies who see profit, you have to have profit to raise your dividend
Right.
in these economical times. I guess we'll see what companies expand and which ones do not.
How do you think? How do you think the holidays will affect? Speaking of profit, how do you think the holidays will adjust to the new market and the new ways people are shopping or spending their money in general?
That's actually a real good question because this week they're actually shutting down more and more cities. So I think we'll enter
Mm,
in like some type of holiday season like we've never seen before in the past. Like
mm,
Chicago said, you got to shut down your Thanksgiving plan. So I guess
right.
enter new territories.
Right. Um, I think that's the hard part about it because there's no precedent for this, so we don't even know a lot of the outcomes of the things that are happening because there's really no thing to compare it to. The cities shut down, especially the major cities. That affects a lot of it affects a lot of the spending, but then I wonder how is that going to translate to on the online market? Will it? Are they going to catch all of those people who can't go out and they want to shop? Are they going to get all of those people going to go online and shop, or some of them going to do something different, or just not shop? Or
I heard, but a lot of companies do have other options of delivery, pickup on in store. So it's like that's why I say that goes hand in hand. It's really they have different options when you're shopping online that makes it, you know, the retail market is still gonna be in the works.
But then again, though, but isn't everything like reflected on each other? Like if cities are shut down and you can't celebrate Christmas, are people really going to buy as many gifts as they usually would? Or
right,
if cities are shut down, people are going to feel comfortable spending extra money on gifts. Like, are they going to be like, send us the card this year? So
right, right, right. No, you're definitely right about. It'll be interesting to see, right? There's gonna be parts of the country where there's a lot people saved their money. They didn't, and then there might be parts where people spent their money. I think you'll see a little bit of both, but you'll definitely see that gap this year. Like who did spend and who didn't. I think you'll definitely 100% see that. Won't even be like a question. But you're right. Maybe people don't go as crazy this year. Maybe they already did. Maybe a lot of people already spent the money. You know, people were doing a lot of people were doing better on unemployment than not on unemployment. Maybe they're, maybe they're going to spend their money a little bit different, or maybe they won't spend their money. But it's going to be more blatant this year to see it. Well,
I would like to see some more entrepreneurs just, get off the ground, just even if it's just, making some homemade goods, just getting more creative. It would
would,
be
would
and
you start a business right now in the climate that it is? Would you
no,
start a business?
it's real hard to,
But would you? Would you start a business right now, like a full? Would you start a business in with everything you know right now going on? Would you start a business right now?
damn,
Whereas you had to have like a actual location, like you have to have a building,
I know.
not a building, but a storefront. Would you do that right now, or do you feel like it's not good to do that right now?
Um, I would have to be honest and say it would be real hard to do it right now.
Mm. What do you think? What do you think?
I mean, it's very risky, but if you pick the right business and you kind of see what the regulations are and you can find your niche, it could be very, very rewarding as well if you
Yeah,
hit home run out the park and start the right business at this time. Yeah, I think it could be profitable, of course.
probably has to be home run, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, probably has to be home run. No singles this year. Probably has to be home run or you're out. Home run or you're out. But you're right. I think I think it's hit or miss. It might be. It's pretty much is like who could take the risk, right? Who could afford the risk?
yeah, you got to weigh out your risk to reward,
Right.
find a niche. You kind of have to see where the future's going and create a business in the so-called new norm that fits in perfectly.
Mm,
And
mm,
one of those businesses could be solar energy. They saying that's gonna be a big.
mm. I think you're right. I think you're right. Right. So solar energy and like the hybrid vehicle. The green energy type thing. Do you think that's like a short term? You think people are just talking about that now? Do you think that's actually
Well,
where we're
that's what
going?
what's it called?
Because we've heard of this. These things have been around, but they've never like really been mainstream popping
Yeah, I
off.
know what you're saying.
Do you think that finally happens where solar energy and like hybrid cars and stuff like that are really the wave of the future?
100%. I would say.
Mm,
I
I
mean,
would.
I think it's necessary to our progress and prosperity in the future. I think
Yeah.
it can only benefit us if we go more green.
why? Because do you think so? You're saying like even environmentally is better. Like for everything, it's better to
Mm.
do that. Because that could be your the justification for it. If it's better for the environment and it's more efficient, why wouldn't we do it? Right? Why wouldn't that be the way? Because it seems like that's how they selling it. That's pretty much how they're selling it. It's efficient and it's great for the environment.
Well, if you
So
see like the e-commerce, that's been out for like quite a while now, and people are still trying to get on to make some lucrative moves in that economy, right?
well, people are definitely
No,
doing
no,
that
I'm
on
just saying.
e-commerce.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's been out for how many years now, and people are just starting to get onto it. So, with the solar energy, it could be the same thing. People are just starting now to get onto it. It's been out, for years now. People been using it, so it just takes like not even just a couple people to get on it with the right savvy businesses, and they can make your fortune.
Got to hit a home run.
Gotta hit that home run, yeah.
You got to hit the home run. That's probably what it is about.
And it also has to do with, I think, a lot with the politics too. Who's in office?
I mean, that'll change things, but eventually, I think things will level out however they're gonna level out, and you can